Jov.
And players where they're playing in our leagues. We've got a super fan who is Patrick Retzels, this charming van, tonight. We've got Lacey with us in Illinois, who's a Man City fan. You feel like Harry Kane is only ever spoken about in terms of his England record, but never the Spurs record. So given that, Lacey, did his performance on Saturday against you lot, the other end of Manchester, did that surprise you? I mean, did it surprise you that he was able to do a number, as we say, on Man City?
I was shocked. Yeah, I was incredibly shocked. I mean, I know he is one heck of a player. He's an incredible athlete. But I was amazed that seeing that good of a performance from his club team, usually I see a really good performance from him when I watch an England match. So that was quite a shock.
And that is fair, isn't it, Tim? That, you know, if you're looking at it from an outsider's perspective, Lacey probably doesn't follow Tottenham as closely as you do, or as UK football watchers might, who knew that Harry Kane had it in him, even when he's playing for Spurs, but it's just so erratic when he pulls out a performance like that. I haven't seen a performance like that from him against anybody for quite some time.
Well, I saw on social media today a Brazilian kind of asking me, how on earth can Tottenham be considered like Big Six? And it's automatic for us, isn't it? Because we grew up with the idea of the glory days. And you know, there was no doubt about it. Tottenham and Arsenal were always historically vying to be London's biggest club. But if you've come to the game more recently, you'll have an entirely different perspective of the kind of pecking order of things. And, you know, Tottenham will be certainly below Chelsea and Arsenal. And they're struggling hard to be below West Ham as well. So if you're not aware of the historical importance of Tottenham, I can easily understand why that confusion would exist.
Yeah, and Mina, how can we explain that to Lacey? Why Harry Kane is always spoken of reverentially from over our side as being world class, you know, one of the best, if not the best centre forward available. How can we explain then the inconsistency between club and country from Lacey's perspective of Harry Kane?
I think it depends because obviously, you know, unfortunately you can be an amazing player but not have a team that can really provide you the goods to show off your talent at all times. They're very highly pressurized situations that England has played in, and they have succeeded, you know, whether it be like, you know, managing their first penalty shootout in the World Cup or obviously reaching the finals of the Euro. And they have so much talent and quality that it allows Harry Kane to really take advantage of the array of assets that he can hold. And you can see the beauty of his game. But I think on the whole, you know, unfortunately for him in Pochettino's season in which they did reach the final, he was injured for a lot of that. And so we weren't able to appreciate him, but instead we appreciated what Pochettino could do with a squad that we didn't deem to be at the level of a Manchester City or the teams that they were facing at the time. But they showed that they were. And with Harry Kane, yes, it is difficult because I think that a lot of the time, and even actually Antonio Conte has come back on this, they're called a counter-attacking team, and they have been a side sort of under Jose Mourinho. Certainly, like, you know, a lot of the question marks on Antonio Conte is it's a very direct type of football, and that doesn't always bring out the best in what you can do, but he is somebody that can shine in any type of football. And that's something that I think he wanted to do and wants to show when he moves to Manchester City. I can play vertical football, but I can also play and hold on the ball and actually partake in the final third and show you what I can do with my passes and things like that. So I think that over here, we appreciate Liverpool's style of play. We appreciate Manchester City's style of play. And we talk about that sometimes more and what the players do to enhance that, but not necessarily about what they do unless it's a moment of magic. And I think that can get lost in the equation for Spurs, who keep changing all their coaches. And so we don't appreciate the beauty of him and also of Son.
Yeah, it's not just about Harry Kane and the whole team. Arguably, in that defeat of Manchester City, could take plaudits there. And this charming van, you've got your cousin from another mother, if you like, over in the States. Cousins, from the same city. You're both from somewhere else, but sport teams in Manchester, as it were. Have you got anything positive, nice, pleasant? Kind of like something that would G Lacey up as a Man City fan over that side. Have you got something to say? Feel free. Lacey, sorry, I should ask Lacey before Mina has a go at me. Lacey, you happy for me to ask this charming fan? Oh, you will have a go at me, Mina. You know you will. Lacey, you happy for this charming...
trying to be a caveman.
I am happy with the answer, yes.
Yeah.
I think that explains a lot. It's about the entire team and style of play and all, and everything else that she mentioned.
Yeah, I suspect this charming van will talk more about the rivalry between the red side of Manchester and the blue side of Manchester. Or am I trying to stir things up, this charming van?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have, I don't particularly have, a lot of beef with City. I mean, for instance, my son, he supports City. So so I'm quite constantly kind of stuck between the two fires there, So
is that proof of your failure as a father? Have you failed in your duty?
I think I have. Luckily, I turn him over to Rhoda, as well. So at least something's right in the world,
There's always a backup, Tim. Yeah.
There's always a backup, But I do actually really enjoy. I actually really enjoy seeing them play. I mean, obviously, twice per season. I hope they really crumble and really don't, that it goes really badly for them. But I can generally
you willingly hope your son's team really are humiliated. What kind of a father are you?
Yeah, Lacey.
Exactly.
Do you have anything to say with your brother from another mother, who doesn't mind watching you lot play, and his son supports you, but he does hope very, very strongly that you crumble? Only twice a season, though.
Wow.
I'm not stirring it up. I genuinely am not. But it is interesting to hear the different perspectives. But you're still going to win the league. There is a question mark now. That defeat to Tottenham at the weekend, that defeat has put you back in the mix, hasn't it? Of Liverpool snapping at your heels, and the title race is wide open. Does that make it a pleasant experience towards the end of this season, the second half of this season, or is it a nail-biting one for you?
I mean, I would like to win the league again this season. I want to, I would like that to happen. I mean, considering this last game, just considering the loss, I feel like City win more games than they lose. Obviously, they win. I feel like they just keep winning and winning. And I feel like if they lose a game, I feel like we're gonna win the next one. I feel like we'll win a couple, lose it. I feel like we'll win a couple, then lose one, and then win some, and then lose one. I kind of feel like that's how it's gonna go. Honestly.
And Phil in Manchester has texted us as well, by the way. I don't know if you want to comment on this, Lacey. Feel free. He says Man City's strategy, while maintaining the top three, should be applauded. Wherever they come, whether they win or come second or third. A new team is emerging under the radar. Foden, Palmer, McAtee, Alvarez, Delap, amongst others, and they're pushing players through the academy teams.
They do plan. They plan long term. Well, if I can just take this and run with it, because we've just had a Brazilian club bought by an American owner. It's only in the last few months that the Brazilian clubs have had this capacity to have owners. And John Textor, who owns a considerable stake in Crystal Palace, has now owns 90% of Botafogo. And there was an interview with him last week, and I found it just so fascinating. I mean, I was on Brazilian TV the other week, and they were saying, well, no one gets into football as an adult, do they? And I thought, well, hang on a minute. They do in the United States, because Major League Soccer has only been there like 26 years. So people of a certain age, of my age, like John Textor, who's 56, my age, he hasn't grown up with it in the same way. Now, I'm not criticising him or anyone here, and this is something that I've learned as a result of doing this program, that some people in North America, many of our listeners, that they grew up with their relationship with the game is different. Because for us, it was just something that was passed from generation to generation. In our case, in our generation, it was very much father to son. Now it can be mother to daughter as well. It always has been a little bit, but it was very much a kind of male rite of passage. And we grew up playing it from the age of 4 or 5. It kind of socialised us. And, the local club was always the focus. It's the focus of community. But for a lot of people in the States, and as I say, I've learned this as a result of doing this program, they've got into it through in the TV age very often. And some of the Americans who like this show, they're not necessarily into Major League Soccer. That they follow passionately clubs on the other side of the world, from the Premier League and so on. And the entry level for them has been excellence. So they are into the best because they've watched the best. For us, when we were growing up, the best was like the World Cup.
I'm not sure if that's entirely true, Tim, but I'll come back to I'm just thinking about what you said. The entry point for most people will be some form of excellence or some form of emotional resonance.
Emotional resonance isn't excellence, is it? You can have that as a Swindon Town fan beating Arsenal in 1969. Football doesn't have to be good to be captivating. So when we grew up, like the world, you've got the World Cup once every 4 years, and that was excellence. And then you just got back to our stuff, playing in the mud on horrible pitches, and that was our football. But for a lot of the North Americans, their entry level has been excellence. And this John Textor, the new owner of Botafogo, all of his reference points, they're Bernardo Silva, they're Guardiola, they're Bayern Munich, and that's what he wants to do. Okay. He's already sacked the coach.
I do want to hear more on this, Tim, so I apologise, but I'm mindful that we're going to lose...
I think it's of direct relevance to our listeners, hence the fact that I'm talking about it.
Well, no, 08085 909 693. Feel free. Actually, Tim has opened up a huge conversation. And Lacey, thank you very much, because you kicked this off as well. And certainly if we've got American listeners as well, do add to that